I think with this industry, we just have a lot of misconceptions and wanting to be everything else that we're not. Acting is like a muscle, you know, you have to exercise all the time to get stronger and stronger. And you get emotionally stronger, you get physically stronger. The art is within, and that's what makes us unique.
Nox, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Fantastic.
I think observing you today kind of made me think of something that I noticed about you when I first met you this morning. That there is this stillness about you. It alludes obviously to your name as well, the peacefulness, the stillness. I really want to know how you have managed to maintain the stillness in an industry which demands the loudest part of you.
I think when I was younger, I used to struggle with that a lot. You know, just wanting to be like everyone else, being as loud as everybody else. And I think getting older, you know, I'm in my 30s now. I've sort of embraced the stillness and know that it's my most powerful. I'm at my most powerful when I am still.
Absolutely.
And it's made me a better performer, a better artist, a better person.
I love how you talk about the uniquity that you tapped into, because that's certainly something that came through when you played the role of Kuse for Rhythm City. Those are shoes that you really had to fill for yourself. What are the types of characteristics that you had to cultivate in order to really commit to creating that character?
Look, when I first got onto the show, it was a brand new show, and it was a show that I knew that would, you know, showcase the talent, the art, the gift itself. And I was working with very experienced actors, you know, Abu Mamkoni, Chume, Tates Klabi, Daunyane. The thing was that I want to do well, right? And I need to learn as fast as I could, otherwise it would swallow me. You know? You know how it happens, you know, you see a young actress coming onto a show and the next thing they are gone. And I had so much to prove. You know, when you're young, you're boisterous, like, I get low yet. And you really want to be the very best because you know who you're competing with. And it was a very difficult time, you know, for me personally. I was dealing with my mother's loss the previous year. You know, there was so much going on. And for me, I sort of used it to heal. It was pretty, I'd say, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, but it really, that experience changed me completely. Completely.
And how did you move on from Rhythm City? I mean, what were you looking for?
I had outgrown the character, and I felt that I'd reached a ceiling and I wasn't growing anymore. I either had to go behind the scenes or really explore, but I still had so many stories to tell as an actor. And I chose, it was a very conscious decision. And it was a weird time because I was expecting my child. And then, my partner was like, look, I know how you've been feeling.
Yeah.
I'll take care of us. Get this character out of your system.
Yeah.
Allow the viewers to forget, you know? So it's very difficult for viewers to accept whatever it is that you bring afterwards, to accept that offering, you know? And I decided, like, yeah.
Oh, that must like bring a lot of fear.
Yeah, 7 months into the pregnancy, I was like, I called my agent, Muni, and I'm ready to go.
That confidence you had in going into the unknown, which led to your role in Roots. You know, so I mean, I suppose the strength you had to leave that character and be that, you know, bold about it, kind of gave you impetus to fill Cicely Tyson's shoes.
The funny thing is, every time that every single role that I've played had been a seed that was sort of growing and becoming something great. Where, for instance, with Rhythm City, years before that, I was watching Auskon play a part, Nokuthula Ledwaba. And I said to myself, I was in my mom's lounge, and I said to myself, one day, I'm going to play her child. and I put it out there.
Into the universe.
Into the universe. And then 2007, it happened. And it's been that way throughout my career. Every single role that I've played, and some of them, I regard them as training ground, preparation for the next one. So when I did all of that, I was like, yeah, I'm ready for this. I was scared because I'd lost my adoptive mother now, who raised me.
Oh, wow.
2 weeks before shooting Roots. So I went to set a wreck, but nobody knew. But I was so ready because I'd watched it with my mother and I was like, okay, I need you on this one. Let's do it. And it was an incredible experience for me.
A pattern I'm noticing is all of these moments that you have in your career are kind of preceded by chaos. Chaos is a ladder, and I think you have definitely chosen to climb that ladder and seen the other side of it. I read about your Hollywood endeavor. That was a bit of a disappointment when you didn't get it.
I knew exactly why I didn't get to go do this particular show for Fox TV. I knew exactly why.
In hindsight?
Yeah.
Okay.
When the director called me, it was like, hey, Nox, I'm really sorry. Hey, it didn't work out. Visa problems, with the Trump situation going on right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm just listening to him. The first thing, I laughed because I was like, okay, I get it. I need to finish this chapter. The back of my mind, I knew what was happening. And I was like, okay, this is me. Okay, now I'm really surrendering. I'm really surrendering. I'm not fighting. I'm not arguing anymore. Do as you will. Guide me. Tell me what it is I need to do. And then things started unfolding.
Falling into place.
And I did Double Mama. And there was a reason I had to do that. Everyone else thinks, oh, no. It was more than just a job. There were other things that were happening
attached to it,
to me, around me, that needed to be fulfilled.
As a result of you being on that show,
not going.
Isn't it great though? Isn't it a wonderful feeling to kind of to feel the why and to know it as you're in it?
Yeah.
As opposed to it always being,
it's the best gift.
To just know,
best gift.
Okay, this is happening, and I know why it's happening, and it makes sense.
And it makes total sense. I mean, your name, for one.
Yeah, it's such a privilege. Yeah.
Your name says a lot about why you're here, what you're going to be doing here. The journey, the path that you're going to be walking, because your name really becomes your shield.
Absolutely. I love that. You've been very vocal about sexual harassment and all of these things that you've seen happen in the industry. Do you feel like you've been kind of a one army man in this pursuit?
It's quite a shame that in our country these things happen. Sexual harassment happens, rapes happen on offsets. People are afraid. Women are afraid to speak up and to stand, especially in a work environment. You don't want the labels. Oh, oh gosh, because we do get those tags. You get blacklisted for being outspoken, for being anti, injustice. It's very risky for an actress such as myself to be speaking boldly and saying, this is happening, we know it's happening, and actually sticking up for some people, the vulnerable on set, where you have to fight. Okay, let's fight, let's bring it on. But I don't think the universe gives you a choice once you've been placed in that situation where you sit back and do nothing. You have to do something. It's a scary position to be in. I wouldn't want to be in that position, but it finds you. And you see it, and you can't sit and do nothing. You absolutely cannot, where you have to fight. And we come from, we were raised by mothers who were activists, in the 70s and the 80s, where they were fighting, where they were vocal. And I remember my mother very concretely saying to me, le sa tlo di bona, rona re lwanne what we could, but you guys have an even bigger fight. Patriarchy is one of them.
Still persistent.
Yeah. And she said, you never stop being an activist no matter how comfortable you become.
But I think what this industry will thank you for one day is that genuineness that you carry through that, I think is quite, that's the stuff legacies are built of. When you're looking back in the Manhattan apartment with all the riches in the world, what are the words that you want people to say about you? And I said words because I remember you said there's not a single one, but what are the things people must think of when they think of, Nokuthula Ledwaba?
Kindness, one. Genuine, carefree, but also a warrior. We're constantly fighting for something. More than anything, I want my child to remember me as her mother and someone who will fight for her, even from the other side. And she must know that, and she must know all that about me.
Yeah.
That everything I did was for love.
Well, I think love is the best intention to have behind anything. So in my books, I think you're doing really well so far.
Thank you.
You're amazing. You're a star. Thank you.
Thank you so much.